Hashem Hashem Naseh Nasech, continuing in Reshit Chochma. This morning, Chaf Dalet Adar, Tavshin Pevav Hava Lenun Tova, Ot Chaf in the Hakdama. Hare beferush Amamar Hazeh Amase Gadol Kemo Shamar Kol Sheken Man David Ovda Amnam Efshar Ditchot Ven Mikan Raya Kolkach. Now we've been talking about how important it is to bring Torah into action, to actually fulfill Torah and mitzvot with your deeds. Now, a person might say, this is not a real proof from that which we just said in the Zohar HaKadosh. The Efshad Ache Gamar, a person might be able to say, Kol shekenim asa maaseh achar shelamat, shenimsa megayem Torah mitzvot. How much more so if a person comes to do Torah after he learns? In other words, learning is also important. Don't just tell me action is important. Shenimsa megayem Torah mitzvah, right? Because if you're learning Torah, you're learning how to do the mitzvot. Even if you wouldn't have an opportunity to do that mitzvah, would be considered as if you did the mitzvah. Shesacharo gadol, that his reward is very much, as is explained, la'ed. Right? Amnam maaseh levar bli talmid eno gadol shahare en bor yere chet velo am hares chasid. But we learn from Pirkei Avot that an empty-head person, right, a person who doesn't have the Torah in his head, he doesn't know about the importance of Torah and mitzvot, he would never fear the sins. Velo amhares chasid. And a regular amhares, referring to a person who is not learned, who doesn't have the knowledge of Torah, he would not become a pious person. V'aba umna afalpi shenishtabeach b'maaseh. Now we see that there is a story of Abba Umna, that he was rewarded because he was merited to get shalom from Shamayim. The heavenly bat kol would go out, and that was because he was very particular, he was very careful with the mitzvah of seniut, that as a blood drawer, he had this special clothing with a small hole that would ensure ladies who would come to have their blood drowned, that they should be modest. Gam ken haya bo Torah, so to Torah, va Torah ba lidei maaseh. So we see from this story that Torah coming into action is very important. Umukhrach lomad avana zol lifnei divrei azohar shama beparashat pekudei v'halachot בסוף בית שכל מי שאין בו תורה. So just don't think that always the actions are important, right? We see that if a person doesn't have Torah, he doesn't have the knowledge of Torah, also he would not be so successful. אף על פי שיש בו מעשים טובים, that from there we learn, right? From there we learn that if a person doesn't have Torah but he has good deeds, he has the good actions, but still he wouldn't be regarded as a great person. Ein Sham. V'chen etachnu ma'amar echad b'sha'arat teshuvah perek shvi'i. Also Sha'arat teshuvah says on the pasuk, right? On the pasuk, im lo ted'i lach hayafe benashim. If you do not know hayafa benashim, not sure exactly what that means. The beauty of the woman. What is that referring to? Right. Hayafa benashim. אין שם ועוד טעם היות מעשה גדול. You have that? ועוד טעם כמו שאמר כל שכן מן דעבדי עובדה I think what it means a person wouldn't know the real beauty unless he studies. He knows what is the real beauty, right? The real beauty of ladies is when they have the modesty. That's the real beauty, right? Or a person who has a tircha, b'maaseh yoter midibur, right? The tircha, the difficulty of one second. من کل خسته بودم کار مهمی داری؟ بله بهتون اطلاع میدم چشم الان وسط چیز هستم الان نمیتونم بهتون زنگ میزنم بابا شهره ایم قارا آدم که صدیقه میسوا سکوت او لولاب و کیوسه و ایرا سدر میسوا به شاه اخد او پخوت that if a person doesn't know how to fulfill the mitzvah of sukkah or lulav, or he doesn't know the seder of mitzvot, ulitikkun aser a mitzvah, and he doesn't know the tikkun of how to correctly do a mitzvah, it batel yom echad. So then the whole day could be itbatel. He doesn't know how to do the mitzvot, mitzvot aseh. Look at this. Just have it right now. Right? Also, if a person doesn't know when is the appropriate time for certain mitzvot, or how to put on the mitzvah, how to do the mitzvah of tefillin. So we see from here, Reshit Chochma says, don't think that learning Torah is not important. Obviously, learning Torah is important. Bringing action is even more important. Ad she'aved ha'ol l'shem chudsha, ad she'aved ha'or l'shem قدوشا و عد شعسته حباتیم و کتیبا ساریخ زمان رب. So you learn how to make tefillin. You learn that how difficult it is to prepare the letter, that it needs to be for the sake of the kedusha, the right kavanot. You can't just prepare the letter of tefillin like that, right? Or making the housings of tefillin. והقریאה ללמוד הוא זמן מועט. Or, the qariya للمود زمان مועט. Now, the reading of this mitzvot, the details wouldn't take that much time. When it comes into making the tefillin, it takes a lot of time. ולכן שכינה מתקטנת במעשה יותר מדיבור. So from here, Reshit Chochma says that Shekhinah, Hashem's Shekhinah will rest upon that which has more involvement of maaseh, of deeds, than the dibur. Keteperusho bezohar parashat Reshit, as it is mentioned in Zohar parashat Reshit. לכל עושיהם. So it goes on to explain what does that mean. לכל עושיהם. אילן חסדי דוד הנאמנים. לכל עושיהם, that refers to חסדי דוד הנאמנים. תומכים אורייתא ואינון לתכנין אורייתא כביכול אינון עבדים. And those who are Tomchei Torah, they are as if to say that they are the Osim, they are the ones that bring the Torah into action. Right? The Le'an Be'oraita, those who don't have the Torah, they don't have the mitzvot in action. Let Behu Asiya Be'od the Dalebei. That there is no amelim. They are not amelim b'Torah. They wouldn't have the asiyah. The Lord parents understand what that means. Inun tetachinin lon it behu asiyah ubechela da ketiv dasim tehidim tehilato omedet ad v'gaima karseya al giyuma kedegat yaot ad kan neshona v'chen perish b'tichunim ki maase v'dibur maase keneged nefesh v'dibur keneged ruach kemo she'atirnu Leshona b'sha'ar kedusha. So what is saying over here is that those who are tomchim b'Torah and they learn Torah, then they will have the fulfillment of mitzvot, action. And with this is the pasuk says Tehilato omedet la'ad, that they will be praised forever, or they will be praising Hashem forever. Right?
His praise stays forever.
Whose praise?
The person that does it.
The person who does it, he will be praised by Hashem forever. Ve'omed hakiseh al amdo karaui, and he would be setting up his kiseh, his chair, right? Ad amdo karaui, on perhaps on a good stage, on a stable.
He does the kiseh for Shekhinah, the person that does.
So he makes a kiseh, kiseh akavod. He makes a kiseh. He makes a heavenly chair for kavod Hashem. Obviously, Hashem doesn't need a chair, but with his deeds and his Torah, he would be making that chair. So the end of this over here ends. That from here we learn in the Tikkun Chaf Bet, and it says Ki ma'aseh v'dibur, that the deeds and the speech of the Torah and the learning of Torah, ma'aseh, the fulfillment of mitzvot is corresponding to one's nefesh, one's life. V'dibur keneged ruach, and a speech is keneged, is corresponding to his spirit. Perhaps we can say it, ruach is spirit. Hard to explain it, right? Soul maybe, soul, right? Kemo she'atirnu leshona b'sha'ar kedusha. So that we already spoke in Sha'ar Kedusha, or we're going to talk about it more further, I believe. Baruch Adonai Leolam, Amen, Amen.